early Bloodthorn, which I know it sounds kind of weird, and it's only if the Visage is really top of net worth, then it's only relevant, so please don't do this in your pubs because I told you to or some shit. Okay, we gotta pause, and I gotta do some more admin work here just to make sure that this series isn't gonna suffer the same fate. Okay. There we go. Nice. It looks like there's really no package loss issues here. Maybe Pink got 2k? Oh, because Flyku doesn't get what's up. Go? Okay. Now we this is what I love about Southeast Asia. The teams are kinda, you know, in Europe it's always people don't trash talk for fun, because often if people in Europe trash talk for fun, it often leads to salt, like really big time salt. And over here it's just people always trash talk, and they don't really get mad at each other or anything. I don't know why we're paused, but I don't mind it, because it seems like everything is gonna go stable from here on out. Okay, we're good. We're all good. We're in. We got Pudge trying to roam out early to place a ward. Pudge, of course, super slow, so those early rotations on this hero are generally a bit risky, but... Why is everyone so obsessed with a freaking little dance? Spirit Break, you just did one, but I kinda missed it because I'm actually gonna look at wards here and try to get this series, you know, done without losing my shit completely. Well, at least the teams seem to be having a good time. And I like this draft. I really do like this draft from both sides. I mean, Evos kinda went with the meta draft, with the traditional stuff, but they did pick it according to their strength. They did pick, you know, the heroes they play a lot, the heroes they are really comfortable with, really relaxed with, I think you should say. And Team Boom ID, they have this super, you know, super well scaling draft, and this, it seems super balanced. It does have some really big weaknesses, but it does seem super balanced. I mean, I'm kinda debating how good the Pudge pick is. Then again, I don't know Jocam really well in terms of... I cast him for the first season this time, I think. Visage, no items, GG. Saint Lucas, he should be fine. Yeah, he's gonna hold his off lane. Okay, I'm currently playing tech support in the background, but I'm doing my sincere best here, guys. And yes, I'm gonna say this on stream as well, just so everybody knows it and I don't get... Like, this is one of those questions I get asked every time. Currently, both of the tickets are for the previous seasons. There is no ticket for the next, for like this current season, because I don't know why. There was supposed to be one, but there isn't. And because, you know, the Dota store doesn't tell people that the ticket is over and that it's only for the old matches. They thought, I think they just thought, oh yeah, it says sponsored by Azubu in the ticket. Azubu doesn't exist anymore. Looks like that means it should be fine. People should automatically know that the ticket is over. Well, turns out they don't. Everybody blames me for it. But we got an aggression on Facehugger here, and this could be a really good first blood. I mean, the mid Urza already a really... Okay, that's first blood there. Going to the Pudge. Pudge getting a flash heap stack is already really nice. And I mean, in general, this Urza mid lane, it is a bit of a risk to take, because if Urza gets shut down, if he gets ganked on the mid lane, if he generally has a really poor lane, then yes, it's gonna be bad for you, but this way you have a way higher chance of actually not being completely annihilated by Broadmother. And I think that's pretty huge. We got the Spirit Breaker here in a bit of trouble, and if Leica goes down here, that would be a huge value, at least +2 int. No flash heap there though, because Pudge actually values his life and he's still gonna go down. However, Azura could be going down as well. It's gonna use flash healing capabilities there. And it's gonna be fine though. That's also one of the reasons why Silencer is a really good pick in my opinion. Also, chat, the reason why there's a typo in the Meowbot copy pasta is because we don't have enough room for the letters. This is the longest message Azubu lets, or Smashcast lets us send. So that's why it has typo in there. We all know it's going on. It's like not like we wouldn't fix it if we could. We just can't fix it, okay? Meanwhile, Happy getting ran at here by Jokem, and if he goes down, I mean, this Pudge, he's generally just having a really good game here. This is gonna be his, I think, second flash heap stack here. Yeah, he didn't get one on top. Was involved in all the kills. So he's taking a ton of experience. Pudge usually kinda struggles with mana at a couple points in the game. And I figure that might happen here. Broadmother's gonna go down the mid lane. Pudge, meanwhile, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna live to tell the tale. It looks like Boom ID, they're up to a great start with their super greedy lineup. I mean, Azura is also really fat, and a fat Necrophos can definitely carry a game single-handedly, so it's not like this is a really bad scenario for Team Evos here. It's just that Boom ID, with a start like this, that means that Evos have less of a time frame to actually act, because the late game advantage is definitely gonna go to Boom. And the question is, how long do Evos have to win the game right about now? It doesn't really matter about gold net worth difference and stuff. Broadmother can flash farm. Chronosphere doesn't matter how farmed you are, as long as you have enough damage with Necrophos and Edge Version, you definitely do. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, we got another fight going on here. As Dreamercell's getting gone on Evos, they really would love to shut down this Urza, or at least you know, get the Broodmother a bit of farm, but instead they're gonna give away 2 int and another 2 int, and Happy just dead here as well. He's cute. You can see that he's a Monster Hunter fanboy. I mean, that's where his name comes from. He wanted to choose the name Kizu originally. Instead, like, not the European Kizu, but the normal Kizu. And you can see that man is a Monster Hunter player, because in the Monster Hunter series it's really essential to be there when a kill is made. Otherwise you lose some really valuable items, and it's a huge game in Japan and generally in Southeast Asia. I'm a big fan of the series myself, and I'm really sad that it doesn't have pro scene or is an esport, because I would love to cast that shit as well. But I do think it kinda matters in his playstyle. Because, you know, I've never seen a Science player this accurate with, like, stealing int. Putting himself in the line of fire, almost going down himself for 2 int, and then managing to live. It's one of those skills which you don't learn in Dota unless you spam Silencer a lot. Or play other games which have kinda similar relevant mechanics. But yeah, this is a perfect start for Boom ID, man. Meanwhile, a Vil, would you look at that, gonna go down again, and honestly, Boom ID, this is just one of those drafts I'd pull in my pub games. Like, if I play Captain's mode and people don't pick Captain, and I get to pick it, I always just pull Pudge, Silence, or a similar draft. Meanwhile, Pudge, he's gonna be able to deny himself here, and that means Necrophos now left behind enemy lines without mana. Meanwhile, Key's cute, gonna get another kill, and look at that, he hits pretty hard. I mean, that int really does matter here. It gives him like about 25 additional damage. With Necro's armor, that's actually about... wait. Yeah, this is about 20 health extra that Silencer takes off per hit with the glaives. Silencer now could be going down. Key's cute. He's gonna die, however, Jokam is gonna hook Blyko and get another Flash Heap stack. And I mean, those stacks really will matter. Despite Necrophos having still pretty much a perfect start here. Going 3-0, getting a super easy tower push down. Sitting on top of Lasts as well. I don't think Lasts matter much, but this Necrophos, I think it's gonna be him against the world here, because he's having a perfect game. Everyone else on his team is losing every bit of an advantage they do have, and he's still managing to do fine. And your Dream, meanwhile, in the bottom lane died as well. So at least Evos, they do get kind of, you know, a couple of comeback thingies. But then again, it's gonna be Azura against the world here. I can pretty much guarantee you that that's gonna be the case for at least one fight. Meanwhile, Dreamocell, not sure if he wants to fight or run there. Decides for fighting and then running. Meanwhile, another perfect hook, this time around on Happy. And this is a really interesting strategy. I mean, a lot of these heroes aren't popular, and if we pay some attention to how Boom ID are executing them, then you can see why they are, like, why they weren't popular before and why they still work out so well here. Pudge is not about, you know, just predicting where somebody goes, because the hook is now so slow. Pudge is now about kinda shooting like a Mirana arrow, where you intentionally try to hook from certain spots, so your vision is, you know, the enemy's vision is kinda matching up with your hook. Where back in the day it was just a skill shot, really depending on your skill, your way of predicting where somebody goes, of estimating movement speed. Whereas now it's more about positioning, and I think that really is interesting, because yes, we've seen Pudge before a lot of times in a couple of tier 1 tournaments. I think Cube plays him too, still, you know, in the current meta. Although Cube hasn't streamed in quite a while. At least not when I'm watching streams. Now I watch a lot of streams. But turns out Pudge is still relevant, at least in the right hands. And Evos, they don't have a reason to worry about this, at least not now. Since this is gonna be Azura going for a Radiance here, it's just gonna be a pretty good time window still. Like, yes, once the 40-minute mark comes, it's gonna be really hard for Team Evos to resist, you know, to kill off Pudge in general, who's gonna be super tanky. And see, this is what I mean with the hook. You cannot land it if you don't know, like you cannot land it if you don't have a really good spot for vision. You can try, maybe the enemy doesn't see it coming, maybe they're shopping or something, but if we look at the hooks he's landed, those were mostly about the vision, mostly about hooking Necro when he was like this close to the trees or similar stuff. Also look guys, Spirit Break is dancing. Are you happy now?
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay, Spirit Breaker now caught in trouble as well. And just gonna go down. 18 int on the silencer at like 12 minutes in game. Azura is under a lot of pressure here. Really needs to come online, really needs to start making things happen, or this game could be over before it restarted. There is still a pretty decent chance for Evos to make a super big comeback, because if there is a comeback for Evos, it's gonna be a devastating one for Team Boom. And there's a Chronosphere onto In Your Dream. Pretty decent kill there, as he was sitting pretty high in net worth. However, the Urza Dreamocell is who you want to shut down, and he's pretty tanky, sitting at 9 armor, a decent health pool, and having his ultimate as well with anything except for the Chronosphere. However, Necrophos might be able to make it happen. Still super well fed, slightly behind the Urza, but got the Scythe. Also Vlaiku, he's just spamming taunt all the time. So chat, are you happy now? He's been doing the little dance all the way. See, he's still doing it even in melee range of Pudge. I mean, that's some commitment right there. Pudge is just gonna go down. In Your Dream maybe. Gonna get one return kill there. Wait, did that connect? Okay, doesn't matter, he's gonna be able to teleport out there. And Pudge went down. Still, there's a huge advantage for Boom ID. Also, Key's cute. He's super fat. I mean, this is just some amazing positioning.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The courier there, getting sniped by the Venomancer. It's so annoying that some slows nowadays work on courier, and I think courier speed boost wasn't cooldown there as well, because somebody bothered with microing the courier. Would have definitely pressed speed boost there. Vil seems to be in a lot of trouble now, taking a ton of damage, and it's gonna go down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Team Boom ID are gonna push down the bottom tower. They're just gonna get a huge tower lead right now, so they have a huge network advantage, which they can then essentially throw away. He's cute, is probably gonna drop here, but I don't think he minds. Wait, actually no, he lives with freaking 4 HP. He just survived that by 4 HP. And Happy is gonna go down to the Urza meanwhile. This is pretty much everything that could go wrong going wrong scenario, and I get that that's never fun.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And I mean, this game is amazing. I mean, yeah, it's not that fun to watch if Team Evos don't manage to make a big comeback here, which, like I keep repeating, they still potentially can, but I think, yeah, there was a Sacred Relic for Necrophos on the courier. That's the only way to explain his net worth. Unless he bought like a Reaver first item or something, or he's gonna go first item Butterfly. And I'm not memeing about the first item Butterfly. I know it sounds like I'm memeing, but I'm not. In Dota 1, Butterfly was an item you would build on tanks. Like, Tiny would go Butterfly, sometimes Pudge would go Butterfly, Necrophos would go Butterfly, at least for, you know, one patch which lasts for about 1.5 years. Meanwhile, it looks like Evos are about to secure another return kill here, and on a really high value target. Dreamocell losing his mega kill streak there. Going down for like, let's see, how much money is that? Yeah, more than 1,000, that's huge. Also, I wonder who has, wait, I actually want to know who has the most deaths, and okay, so Vlaiko I think actually lost the most int here. And still he has enough int for, you know, being a Spirit Breaker. All you need to be able to do is 1 Q and 1 ultimate in most cases. Like, best case scenario would be 1 Q, 1 ultimate and another Q. But you can do that if you get your power threats done, so I think he's gonna be fine for now. Since there's not really a ton of stupid heroes right about, like, in this game right about now. I mean, it's really fun when you take a super low int hero and burn away all their mana, preventing them from doing anything. Like, you getting baited there by the Pudge, mid-charge hook. Jocam really showing that he likes his hero and he's good with it. Meanwhile, Happy, is he gonna get away here? I don't think so. Dreamocell is gonna finish the deal, and Boom ID, they're gonna continue pulling ahead. I mean, Azura's still going perfect and now got the Radiance finished up. So if he can use that for a good teamfight without dying himself, then... Okay, look at that, Broadmother proccing the ultimate there, and all of a sudden this Broad is a real big threat with the Defibrillate, with the Massive Madness, but still not big enough as Keith Cute hits for a ton of damage, as Dreamocell hits for a ton of damage, and there's so much disable.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this game could have gone really differently if the Urza was safe lane and the Visage was mid lane. If that was the case, I think that Evos would have won this game, or at least, you know, would have gotten really far ahead early game. So Boom ID took a bit of a risk there. Not that big of a deal, but it's still, you know, a major risk. It could potentially get your Urza 2-0 start or something. And, you know, the Broad got shut down. The Urza had a good start, thanks to the risk they took. So it really does pay off here, especially with a greedy draft like this, because if you win the early game, you've already won the late game. And that's something Evos are really struggling with here. They like, the only chance they have is like the mid game until the 35 to 40 minute mark, depending on Keys, Cute's intelligence, and generally on how often Dreamocell will go down, you know. I think it's really up to those two heroes. As for Jocam, he's a Pudge. He needs too many items to not die. Or just an Urza. That's also an option, I guess. And Facehugger gonna go down there again. Despite being so fat. Dreamocell decides to just go for the Roche here. I mean, what are Evos gonna do? Okay, Chronosphere, a bit of an overkill there, but Evos, they know how high value every single kill, especially if you can still steal the road, but you can't. They're just a tiny bit too late. Now Dreamocell, you know, is just gonna be allowed to walk away. Their Keys Cute is gonna go down. Happy is 2. And your Dream is still gonna try to enable more kills. Pudge getting a good hook there on Azura, and Azura, no. This could be the game ending. Like, this kill could have potentially just Okay, no, never mind. Facehugger's still going at it, getting a double kill. Can he get more or at least stay alive here somehow? Looks like he can get out. No detection on either one of those two heroes because Boom, I mean, they got kind of cocky there. They got kind of fat there. You don't even have room in your inventory for detection. And that means Facehugger just gonna get out. Still sticking around a bit there, but Boom, I think they're just gonna continue forcing the aggression. I mean, the time frame they have to, like, the time window Evos have to lose. Like, Evos have not to lose, you know, the time window where Evos are actually able to take a fight and have a chance to win, is what I'm trying to say, is super small. That's kind of what that's kind of the point I'm getting at, and that means even if Boom, you know, get team wiped, it's not gonna change how this game is gonna go unless Team Evos get a tier 3 tower or something out of that, or manage to team wipe Team Boom ID twice in a row. With the Broodmother, getting a tier 3 out of a team wipe might actually be possible, especially with a Desolator build. I gotta mention that, but
invisibility.
Why are people trying to force dancing as a meme now? We already have Gasman being forced as a meme, and I went along with that in the hopes that people would, you know, just accept that I'm one of the cool kids and not try to force more memes on me to test me, but now it's meme too. Please stop. But okay. In all due seriousness, I think wait, okay. Guess the gang squad is in a bit too late despite bringing detection. But we are gonna take a look at the items here, unless okay. So Dreamer Cell about to get Abyssal Blade. Meanwhile, he managed to get out. Azura's kind of fat and Facehugger is. Void gonna go for the carry build here, which is kind of debatable. I think he kind of committed to it back when the game wasn't going really hard, really, you know. I won't say poor because there's still a small chance of comeback, especially with Facehugger being this fat. Okay, and we got Facehugger man fighting. Venomans are dead. Can they get Showcam here? Yes, they can with the Reaper Scythe as well. And meanwhile, Keyskew dropped 2, and Flaiku still trying to get out of there. What does that mean, Sikajing? Can somebody translate? I want this translated. I mean, I'm about 95% sure that's trash talk. I'm just not sure if it's the cocky, like almost insulting kind of trash talk, or the trash talk where you just laugh. You know, the cocky trash talk, like, well done, you killed me once, or something against go fuck yourself. Would be a good example, I think. Either way. Facehugger now super fat and should be able to push really hard after one team fight. Now all Evos need to do is win a team fight, which they can. I mean, it's still mid game. The flesh heaps aren't quite that important because Patch has close to no armor.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has
I mean, he can get armor in 2 levels, so it's not going to be that long of a window for that. And I think in general it's not going to be that long of a window because all the big core items now being built. I mean, Keyskew should be able to get his 4-step done before the next big 5-man team fight. Venomancer should get his Yules done. Visit should get the Aghanims done. As for Urza, BKB is also not that far away, since I think the next big team fight, like the next 5-on-5 fight, is gonna be the Roche fight. And until then there's still a ton of time.
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, it looks like Evos are actually trying to initiate for real here. And they will find a patch. Do they want to push the aggression though? That's the question. Looks like they will. A Vil. debating a Chronosphere there, decides against it. Like, is still charging and closing the gap on Your Dream. This could be a really good 2-man Chronosphere. In goes the Edge Apparition ultimate, but it's just gonna be a 1-man Chrono to make sure Venomance goes down quick. And now Key's Q is still gonna drop. No Chrono on 2 needed there. And I mean, that was kind of safe because Void was so slow, he couldn't really... He would have spent like 1.5 seconds walking towards the Chronosphere. And most of your damage was melee anyways. So it's not like that was a misplay in any way, I think.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Guys, I don't really know when Happy Feet will be playing, but I think it will be within the next 2 days. I'm not gonna promise you, because, like, all we know is there's a cable broken, and they said it will take at least 2 days to repair. And if big companies like that say at least, then you know it shouldn't be much longer than that. So yeah, guys, that's about all the info I have for you right about now. I'm sorry for that. I mean, I've wasted a lot of free time today as well. I've wasted like 8 hours, and I didn't sleep last night because I was supposed to start super early this morning because of all these reschedules, so it's not like I'm not just as annoyed by this. Boom, Patch meanwhile gonna go down to a Reaper's Dive. It's just a patch, but Evos could potentially get more down because this is gonna be a full-blown fight. Broadmother there actually getting Dreamo's health, pretty low health. Blyco now coming in with a stun. 4 steps there, saving Urza's life. Spirit Breaker. Oh, would you look at that. Visage dishing out a ton of damage, securing, or at least enabling 2 kills to be secured, but Broadmother's still so big. Facehugger, no way he can go down, and look at that. The comeback here in the mid game in this really small time frame is real. I said they probably needed an entire team wipe if they want to win this at all. And guess what? Team Evos just got an entire team wipe. This is exactly what they needed. They can now at least push tier 2 tower.
Coin for me.
But it looks like Evos, they're not really gonna push here. Which, it doesn't feel good. I mean, I get that they kind of want to play it safe. I get that they don't want to risk too much. But, you know, despite Urza falling off really hard and Visage not dealing any damage later on, this Silencer already hits for a ton. I mean, let's do the math here. 125, 80% of 125 is 80 plus 20 is 100. So yeah, this Silencer deals about well, through armor he still hits for like 200 damage. That means Ancient Apparition is gonna die in 5 or 6 hits. That means Vlaiku is gonna die in like 9 hits. And that's, you know, that's one of those things which is really important. Like, Silencer instacks are already generally underestimated in pro scene, which is kind of because of most people, when they want to play against Silencer, they kind of indoctrinate themselves almost. They really learn to think, okay, it doesn't matter if my int gets stolen. It doesn't matter, it's fine. Like, people try not to panic, people try not to stress themselves too much about that, and that's why people end up underestimating the importance of insteal in general, but Silencer has the weakest of all spells. If the insteal would be as unimportant as most players say. Meanwhile, we got an initiation attempt here from Boom, but counter initiation from Evos there. And there comes Facehugger. Time to enable some kills. The Reaper Scythe will not kill the Putch, but still Necro gets the kill to heal up. Now Dreamocell, man fighting Facehugger here, and Facehugger is gonna go down to the exponential damage output, or no, not quite actually. Perfect stun in from Flyke, who's saving the life of the Broadmother there. And Broadmother finally went down, but in exchange, Boom are gonna lose at least one more hero. And as you can see, Keyscute's damage is huge, but what does it matter if you don't have any frontliners? Evos, they do know they don't have a late game. They don't have a late game here, so all of a sudden they're pushing this aggression. They're really making a perfect comeback, and this is amazing. I mean, I didn't expect this. I was like, okay, maybe 20% chance to win this for Evos, but they had the situation under control. They didn't panic.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And there's now only one tier 2 left remaining. If they can get this tier 3, it would be a really okay. Necrophos getting hooked there. Void comes on in, but Touch will enable the kill there. And see, this is what I mean with Keyscute's damage. It's really big if you have something frontline for you, like a big Pudge and 3 familiars. But you need something to frontline, making it highly situational, but highly important. If Evos manage to either go first on Keyscute, or just to nuke down one of those frontliners with the Reaper Scythe, or generally with a good initiation, then they're still going to be able to take fights for the next 20 minutes. And I think they're really banking on that right now, because the game is still hard for them. It's a super good game, but that doesn't mean it's decided. The Rose just being taken here kind of for free, as Evos got punished for, you know, trying to push high ground like that. They didn't really have a choice, to be fair, because there aren't a lot of pressure.
Top tower is under attack.
Okay, top tower is gonna go down.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I'm wondering what Evos are waiting for here. I mean, they are waiting for something. I just don't know what. Any big core items? Octarine or Necro will take a while, especially if they were waiting for... I mean, if you farm for both Skull Basher and Octarine core, then you got 1 or 2 good fights out of that, but after that the game is definitely done. So, not sure if Evos are waiting for that or if they're just waiting for a good initiation opportunity. I mean, if you want to wait for Aegis to wear out, then I do believe you're kind of giving Team Boom a bit too much space.
Invisibility.
Well, since the game is still quiet, regardless of why, I'm gonna take a look at the items here, and Azura got the Octarine core. How close is Facehugger to the Skull Basher? Actually pretty close. Void as well, going for a Diffublade here. And Spirit Breaker Aghanims. Now, you see, the Spirit Breaker Aghanims is actually something I find kind of strange. It's not like it isn't good.
Bold and sweet.
And I mean, Vlaiku, he has been pretty important in the last 2 fights. Actually, you know, being able to stun Urza through BKB and to keep Urza from tearing up the Broodmother. It's just that I mean, when a lot of people don't build that item on Spirit Breaker, then there must be a reason for that, you know. So I'm kind of skeptic, but not necessarily against it. Also, those familiars are freaking awesome. Wait, I want to see their attack animation while the game's quiet anyways. perfect synchronized flying as well. Well, looks like that 3-man gank on the familiar is gonna be the most interesting thing we're gonna see for the time being. And Evos, it looks like they finally dared to come out a bit. They finally dared to push down that last tower, force the aggression, try and force your opponent to respond.
Bottom tower has fallen.
And boom, I don't think they're pleased with losing their tier 2 there. This game could now really go either way. And would you look at that? Team Boom, they actually seem pretty afraid of Team Evos here. Aegis now reclaimed. Broodmother spiders, I think they're just gonna drop here. And yeah, I mean, Facehugger, I think he has accepted the fate of his children. Meanwhile, Necrophos manages to dodge the Patch hook with 4-step. Now Patch is caught out on the front line, but Broodmother just commits the BKB. If Boom are somehow able to reset this with the Broodmother and then, you know, go on her again. Okay, now Brood doesn't have BKB. This could be a really big risk. Yeah, exactly this is what I'm talking about. Facehugger not really able to deal all the damage he did in the last 2 fights. Meanwhile, over here, Keys Cute taking revenge for his buddy Patch. Besides that, he's just gonna sacrifice himself to make sure Azura is gonna go down, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. So, really good play there from Boom, managing to reset. Instead of engaging on the Broodmother with everyone while she had BKB, they all went the other way around, fought up here, won this fight. Then there was a Broodmother left alone here who just got 1 kill in exchange for, you know, using that really big BKB. And Boom kind of managed to win the fight just based on that.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep.
So over on the bottom lane we got Patch doing a bit of ratting, and what I like about this game in general is that this is the one matchup you don't see a lot in Dota. I mean, yes, it's always greedy team against less greedy team in every single game, because even if you have 2 teams who both have 5 carries, an example, one of the teams has a slightly better scaling carry and hero advantage and all that, you know, stacking up.
Regeneration.
But in this game, it's actually the meta draft versus the anti-meta draft, kind of. I mean, Silencer, Patch, and Urza are all 3 heroes we're not really used to seeing in the current meta, at least not a lot. Urza because he gets kited. Silencer still sometimes, but unless you really want to counter a big hero, you know, like in this case the Void, you don't pick the Silencer. And it looks like we got another perfect initiation for Boom here with the Global Silence, getting 2 kills to start the fight off. Meanwhile, Evil able to at least get away for a time. Will commit the Chronosphere, but could still, yep, still just gonna go down. Yeah, he didn't even have TP, never mind that. I thought he was just gonna Chrono TP, but wasn't quite able to pull that one off. Meanwhile, Facehugger, I mean, couldn't really do anything else than ratting, so made sure to get the most done he could. And Urza now doing his best to prevent this tower from falling, but will not succeed. Oh wait, he actually may. Nope. Facehugger getting the last hit there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
However, in exchange for what? Apparently in exchange for a whole lane of racks.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
And the top tier 3, and most likely the top tier 3 tower too. And now Brotmother being chased as well, and probably just gonna go down, or not. Lucky bash there on the Patch.
Dire's middle barracks
Patch had too much mana burned there to get his ultimate off. Now Urza, does he want to manfight this? It looks like he does want to, and decides against it. If this Urza goes down, I mean, that would be huge. But still has the ultimate, still gonna stay alive. Meanwhile, Saint Lucas got killed off around the top lane. That's pretty good. And Primo Cell just died like that. 2 Facehugger on the Broodmother, and now Venomancer forced to come back home as well. Top tier 3 tower, only halfway dead. However, look at that. He's cute, stronger against, you know, Broodmother and the likes than the Urza at this point. That's why I love Silence so much. That's why I generally say that people shouldn't go ahead and underestimate the intelligence steal, because this is just so huge. I mean, usually when you're sitting at like 70 to 80 intelligence, it already is about a Divine Rapier worth of damage. And I know that sounds kinda hard to believe, but because of the way armor calculation works, it actually does it up like that.
top shrine is under attack.
At least it used to. Maybe, you know, with talents, it's slightly better or slightly worse. But back in the before talent days, it was kinda the rule of thumb. Meanwhile, boom, I think they've learned their lesson there from having so many people die to a Broodmother. And they're now gonna play this quite a bit more carefully.
Dire's top shrine has fallen. Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Okay, Azura's gonna go down again. And I mean, Evos, I don't know if they even have a win well, okay, they do have a win condition left, but that win condition is win a 5-man fight, have Broodmother push up, like have Broodmother push the enemy base in time, and then force the enemy to sort of, you know, run at the Broodmother and get killed off. Because Facehugger has this insane solo potential, but that's about it. I mean, yes, Necro scales really well, but the thing with Necro is he's not really relevant when there's a global silence, when there's a ton of spell resistance. So that's one of the issues the hero has in general. I know he's really hard to counter, especially early and mid game because of that huge flash heal. But in late game he relies on having a different hero help him out damage wise. And since Facehugger kinda has to split push this game if there you know is a chance for victory at all. It does seem a bit hard to win. Not impossible, just a bit.
Go for me.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack. Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Okay, so the bottom shrine has fallen. At the top, like, the 12k gold lead here is pretty magnificent. I mean, the distribution is still really good for Team Evos because both the heroes that they need to do stuff, Necro for base defense and Brad for pushing, are still super fat. But the thing is, boom, they've kind of passed the hardest hurdle. Silencer is now a carry, Punch is now a tank,
Radiant's
Visage
bottom
is now
tower
the
is under
utility
attack.
kind of support, not only, you know, a spellcast / damage dealer, but actually will scale late. And yes, Urza will fall off pretty hard. You know, at some point in the game, he'll just be a disabler mostly. Not completely, but mostly. And that's the top tier 3. Just going down to familiars there. Also, where can I see... Wait, where can I see the bash radius? Okay, there I can. 250, that's actually not bad.
Radiant's
That's
top
actually
tower
really
is
not
under
bad.
attack.
In your dream, it's gonna get caught here in exchange for, you know, pushing the enemy base, and he just decides, well, I'm gonna go out by pressing R. And that's one hell of a long death timer. But he does have buyback available, and boom, they are able to defend their high ground really well. They got a perfect, you know, they got a perfect high ground defense with the Clutch Silencer, as well as Visage, so you can keep pushing out lanes without putting a hero in risk, which, if you see your enemy pushing,
Dire's bottom
if
tower
you see your enemy
has
pushing
fallen.
hard, it might be important. So this is not exactly the fight Evos need, but at least it means... Okay, wait, this is actually not good. Top melee Rex going down is really not good. Because, you know, at this point, it's really just gonna require one hell of an initiation. That kind of initiation that would win you any team fight. And I hate to say that, but... Okay, meanwhile we got Vlaiku running at Saint Lucas here. There's a Chronosphere, the perfect one at that. However, guess who's still going at it? It's Keys Cute, who just realized, oh shit, I hit the wrong void. I kind of forget how damage calculation works. And I mean, that happens. And Keys Cute is gonna live perfectly there. Instead, we're now gonna see a turnaround with your Dream buyback. And how Dreamer Cell still about to go down. At least the first time. Keys Cute, however, this is what I meant with the Silencer's high ground defense. He can position himself in a really safe spot and out DPS anyone. Dreamer Cell meanwhile helping by doing all the front lining, by actually, you know, keeping people stunned up there, and to be fair, he still does a decent amount of damage. Especially on the lower armor targets. So this could potentially be the GG push here. Evos, they tried their hardest. This is why, you know, I'm personally a fan of really greedy drafts, just because I hate losing like this. It's so frustrating because Evos, they didn't get outplayed. Okay, maybe once or twice early on, but you know, if it was a more common and more usual draft, something you'd expect to see, something somewhat typical. Then I think this game would have gone really differently, like really damn differently.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. The Radiant now have mega creeps.
Yeah, this is about over. And I kind of feel sad for Evos here, because they're trying their hardest and they're actually playing really well. They just had a bit of a rough start, but after that they managed to perfectly play this out. Hook just a tiny second too late, like half a second or something. But I mean, this is Mega, so As long as Boom don't get counter pushed into this very instance, I think they don't mind losing everyone here.
So beautiful.
And there they go. By the way, what's the difference between Mega Siege creeps and normal Siege creeps?
Go for me.
That's one of those things I actually don't know, despite, you know. Okay, the difference is apparently 16 damage. But yeah, I mean, right now the win chance for Team Evos, I'd put it at 1%. They have no hero, which is great against Mega Creeps. Despite Spirit Breaker's Bash being pretty good against creeps still, I'd say. You always at least gotta keep 2 heroes in your base. And yes, 2, not 1, because this will happen if you just keep 1. Where like 2 or 3 waves all come together and, you know, start ruining your base still. Meanwhile, Team Evos, they're trying their hardest at this one last chance push. They are getting the lane of Rex, it seems, because Boom, they don't want to waste, you know, they don't want to waste buybacks here. They don't want to take any unnecessary risks. And this is just gonna be like, this is just gonna be a base race, and maybe it actually works. And see, this is what I mean. Evos, they make all the right calls. This is definitely the best chance to win. This is something that requires a lot of Dota knowledge, but it's not gonna be enough just because of this. You know, they all hit their abilities perfectly. They do everything perfectly right now. Now that they've actually really gotten into this game.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
And here, this is what I meant about, like, you gotta keep 2 heroes back if you don't want a base race to start.
Dire's Ancient
Well, they decide to go for it, and now they realize, okay, we've done everything perfectly. We still can't win this. Let's just call